This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar. San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
Hello, I am your host, Michael Ware, President and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. You're listening to the Morning 5. Today is Monday, July 13th. I'll begin with a passage from 1 Corinthians 13. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love. May God bless the reading of his word. Well, friends, I'm so glad to be with you today. Hope you had a restful weekend. We wrapped up Public Good Generation, and my goodness, what an amazing group of students we had with us. All right, let's start off this week with the Morning 5 and with some quick news updates. First up, the tech company Apple filed a lawsuit on Friday claiming that OpenAI has stolen its trade secrets. At every level, the suit alleges, OpenAI has been stealing Apple's trade secrets. The suit focuses on OpenAI's hardware executive who previously worked for Apple for more than 2 decades. A spokesperson for OpenAI responded, quote, "We have no interest in other companies' trade secrets. We remain focused on building innovative technology that empowers people everywhere." Next up, Senator Mitch McConnell, who has been in the hospital for several weeks, said in a statement to news organizations yesterday that a fall prompted his hospitalization, and he was briefly unconscious before receiving treatment. He is undergoing tests to try to learn what caused his fall. He said, "My doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer a concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages." He did say he planned to stay in office, though noted that his announcement that he would not seek re-election was in light of his understanding of the demands of the role. Last for today's quick updates, an outbreak of a foodborne stomach illness has caused more than 800 confirmed cases across 30 American states, with the true number of people affected likely in the thousands. Health officials are trying to track down what food might be causing the outbreak, particularly focusing on produce like vegetables and fruits that have caused outbreaks in the past. Complicating the work is that symptoms sometimes don't start until 2 weeks after a person is exposed to the parasite, known as cyclospora. That means by the time health officials are interviewing patients to try to triangulate what product may be contaminated, they've eaten many different foods that could have been the problem. The Wall Street Journal reports that this stomach bug doesn't spread between people as others do, so once officials identify the contaminated product or products, it should be relatively easy to stop the outbreak. Officials are urging people to cook vegetables and thoroughly wash fresh produce. With that, let's get into our main story for today. Senator Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, who served in Congress for more than 30 years in both the House and the Senate, died over the weekend at age 71. He suffered a cardiac emergency with an initial medical examination finding an aortic dissection, which is a tear in the inner layer of the main artery, usually caused by high blood pressure. Graham, a South Carolina Republican, held high-ranking positions in the Senate, shepherding judicial nominees through the chamber's confirmation process and leading negotiations on the Republican policy bill last year as chairman of the Budget Committee. He also held hawkish foreign policy views, arguing for tough sanctions and sometimes military action against American adversaries, including Russia and Iran. Just prior to his death, he was meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. "Thank you, Lindsey, for recognizing our warriors," President Zelensky wrote on Friday after their conversation. He said after Graham's death, quote, "America and the world have lost a determined leader." Graham was a harsh critic of President Donald Trump, running against him in the 2015 GOP presidential primary, 2016. They became allies in the decade after that, though, with the two men often going golfing together, where they would talk about foreign policy and legislation under consideration in Congress. President Trump said yesterday that Graham was, quote, "a great politician." He had a unique ability, Trump said. He was able to deal with Democrats and Republicans. If I had a problem with a Democrat, he could work it out. He was a great politician, actually. The president said he will order flags to be flown at half-staff until Saturday night. Graham sometimes split with the rest of his party, even if he knew it would cause criticism. He was on the Gang of Eight, a group of bipartisan senators who sought an immigration reform deal in 2013. Later in 2020, he was one of 10 Republicans who supported a gun control bill. Over the past year, one of his primary focuses was legislation to sanction countries still doing business with Russia amid Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine. As Russia intensifies its slaughter of civilians, it is imperative that the legislative and executive branches work together to create tools to exact a heavy price on those who buy Russian oil and natural gas, fueling the Putin war machine, Graham said in a press release just this past Friday with a group of his Senate colleagues. Before being elected to the House of Representatives in 1994, Graham was an Air Force lawyer. Graham was up for re-election this year. With his death, Republicans in South Carolina are expected to hold a special primary election to replace him on the ballot in mid-August. If the winner of that primary goes on to win the general election, they will be sworn into the Senate in early January at the start of the new Congress. In the meantime, South Carolina's governor is set to name an interim replacement to hold Graham's seat. Let's stop there for today and go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father, always near us, may your name be treasured and loved. May your rule be completed in us. May your will be done here on earth in just the way it is done in heaven. Give us today the things we need today, and forgive us our sins and impositions on you, as we are forgiving all who in any way offend us. Please don't put us through trials, but deliver us from everything bad, because you are the one in charge, and you have all the power, and the glory too is all yours forever, which is just the way we want it. All right, thank you for joining me today, friends. As always, The Morning Five is brought to you in partnership with the That Sounds Fun Network, supported by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. If you'd like to learn more about our work at CCPL, you can visit ccpubliclife.org. Hope you have a marvelous Monday.